good about my performance.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good. See here. How long you been playing Overwatch?
So I played Overwatch 1 in like season 3 and 4, and then I quit, and haven't played Overwatch until like 3 months ago.
Mm,
And
mm.
so I started Overwatch 2, and yeah, just to play with friends. And then I decided to get back into the competitive side of things.
Okay. And I see that you're a support player. So, what is it about support specifically that appeals to you?
I like go fast. Lucio's fun, you know? I
Sure,
like Landfall, so it kind of
sure,
crosses over.
sure. Okay, okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. But you also play some of the go slow characters as well.
Yeah, I it's kind of things that I've added into like my playstyle because I feel like a lot of just from like playing ranked, Lucio's really fun, but a lot of the time, especially at low ranks, people don't know how to play with him.
Agreed.
So
Agreed.
swapping to something else is something that you need to do if there's like a Zen or a Mercy.
Okay.
Doing that with Lucio is a little difficult.
Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. Now you're kind of in a. And we talked about this already. But obviously, are you plat at the moment?
I'm currently Diamond. I'm
Okay. So,
Diamond 1.
but you
So
were grandmaster.
I was Grandmaster.
Okay. So what happened? Take a break. Boom.
I rage queued really hard. I I started playing Overwatch again and I went like 5-1 and placed Masters. My peak in Overwatch 1 was like Diamond. So
Mm.
coming into Overwatch 2, I immediately got Masters and then I just played a few games and got up to Grandmaster really quickly. And
Mm.
then I couldn't really adapt because I couldn't play the same way that I had been playing before.
Mm.
And then I just rage queued 100 games and dropped.
Well, lesson learned. Lesson learned, I guess. Surely. Anyway, I know how that goes.
Yeah.
Okay, so play around 3 hours per day. So you joined your college team. Are you a part of that team still or no?
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
I tried out for the gold team after I hit Grandmaster, like the primary team.
Yeah.
Didn't make it, but they gave me a guaranteed spot on the secondary team. So
Yeah.
I'm part of the secondary team right
Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. All right. Is joining the main team still a part of your goals or what?
now. It's something I'm interested in doing. For now, I'm focused on making the secondary team better, like helping other people improve and like
Sure.
being the best player as I
Okay.
can as part of
Okay.
the team.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good. So, what are the long term, short term goals? I want to get back to Grandmaster.
Yeah.
Joining off the primary team. What do you feel is holding back from improving? I die too often, which is likely due to poor positioning and mechanics, dueling mechanics. Although for me, it feels like there is no team pressure. Uh, if it feels like there's no team pressure, I blame my team. I also have low healing numbers. I would never worry about that, to be honest with you. Utility is impossible to like put a number on. So instead, you need to kind of look objectively at each fight, be like, did I provide as much value as I could have? If not, what can I have done differently? Right.
Yeah. It's just
Um,
something you get flamed for, so it feels bad.
but that's the problem is like it feels bad, but you have to be able to tune that out. I guess first off, why are you even at voice? To be honest with you, um, honest question here. What do you get
Um,
out of voice?
like talking,
Yes, in ranked,
communication, or
in
in
rank.
ranked.
Yeah.
Um, well, usually it's text chat, honestly.
So then why do you have text chat on if you're not even in voice?
I am in voice, but it's
Oh, so you're
usually
in
through
voice,
text chat.
but it's through text chat. So why do you need
Yeah.
text chat if you're using voice
Um, sometimes there's some useful communication.
in text
Like,
chat?
yeah,
Okay. What's the
and
what's the
sometimes
ratio?
it's fun.
of,
Fair,
of
fair. I get your point.
Okay,
Fair enough.
okay. That's okay. That's okay. It's okay. Just something to consider. Just something to consider. I'm ironically the one in voice right now, flaming you for being in voice, so or being in text chat or whatever. So just keep that in mind. I think there's a real misconception about like, let's put it this way: you're more than welcome to start in voice. You're more than welcome to utilize chat however you like. It's your call. But you have two options. Okay, the path of mute everything, actually really three paths. The path of mute everything the second it gets toxic at all, or distract, or really just distracting. Because it's not just about like, oh, my feelings are hurt, oh, a bunch of snowflakes. It's not that. It's just distracting. It's distracting, is what it is.
Yeah,
Right?
I
It's
feel
not
like I try and tune it out, but it's still like
sure,
gets to me at a certain
sure.
level.
And that's the other thing. That's the third option is that you can either or you could just be total Sigma male and literally just embrace everything and just totally tune it out. and just roll with that. It's up to you. It's up to you. Because I'm the type of person when I played ranked recently when I was like doing the whole like Sombra disaster, right? Trying to figure out how to coach that character better. I played a lot of Sombra, and I was just so tired by the time that it came to play Sombra because of coaching and work and stuff like that. I just didn't have time to I just didn't have time to deal with it. So you know what? I didn't join voice at all. Didn't do it at all. Other times I would. I used to do a lot of shot calling back when I was in Grandmaster because Overwatch ranked was like a bigger portion of like my time. Right, it was like a more important thing for me, so I put more effort into it. Not that I don't put effort into it, but communication is not a priority, and so I don't want to have to deal with the bull crap of what a low masters player has to say about me. You know what I'm saying? So I think for you, it's just you just need to keep that in mind because especially if it's contributing to your tilt, if it's making you feel like I need to pump those healing numbers up, or I need to adjust play style, or even just simply like as I said, distracting you. That's a major negative that you need to try to avoid. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
that makes sense. Yeah.
So utilize your discretion, but just keep that in mind. Because the other thing too is if it also makes it less fun to play ranked, then for crying out loud,
Yeah.
seriously, like
You're there to have fun.
yeah. All right, 8 hours of sleep, awesome. Your username is the Scholar's Mate in chess notation. Ah, very good, very good. Now, what is the Scholar's Mate? What move is that?
It's the set of 4 moves. So
Ah, gotcha. Is it the really really fast one?
yes,
Yeah,
second fastest mate.
yeah. See, chess is such a weird game for me. I learned how to play when I was literally 3 years old. No joke. And then I haven't played since I was 9. I was pretty
Just
yeah.
for fun.
Yeah, it is a great game. I really do enjoy chess, but I haven't played in a long time. I actually have my own chessboard. My grandfather made me one. He handcrafted it.
That's cool.
So yeah. It's anyway. That's cool. I love the name. I was definitely curious, and it was like
Yeah,
way
yeah,
before I played.
I thought I'd preempt it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Appreciate it. I literally got a flashback because I saw your name and there was this. I had to deal with a scammer like 7-8 months ago. Before you had to pay before the sessions, you just booked it and paid afterwards. I had a scammer that would go through and book all my sessions with
Oh
just
yeah,
random
I
letters.
know. I get that
Yeah,
all the time.
yeah. And I was like, oh crap! Like he would block out my sessions, and so I was like losing money. But yeah, I was like, okay, no, we're good. Okay. I don't really have a whole lot of questions from your form. Do you have any questions for me?
Um, well, so there's two kinds of sides of like that I'm working on right now. There's the college team side where I'm like in scrims and that kind of thing, and then there's the
Hmm.
like ranked competitive
Great
side.
question. Yes.
So, like, what do you think's better to focus on? And like, because I have a VOD from each, so
Yeah, I would say which one's more of a priority for you. The way I look at team work is that you work on team work. Now we can find issues with your CD usage and your positioning, I'm sure, but it's much more focused on like how are you functioning within your team. Ranked is totally selfish. How's your mechanics? How's your positioning? How's your CD usage? What's your understanding of the game and so on. So for individual development, ranked is almost always better. For your development as a cog within a machine, Scrim is always better. And at the pace that we're at, we could do a little bit of both if you'd like.
sure. Let's start with ranked and uh,
Okay, works for me. Just remind me if I end up taking too long and you want to have time to go into the Scrim stuff, just holler.
for sure.
Just be like, hey, shut up, please. All right.
Also, I haven't played in a minute because I was on Thanksgiving break, took a little break from the game. So
Fair enough. No problem. So Diamond support. What hero is this?
yeah, this is Diamond support.
Sure. Is this all Lucio?
I think it is. Do I swap?
A little bit of Curie at the end, but mostly Lucio? Well, actually, half Lucio, half Curie. Do you want Lucio priority or Kiriko priority?
Lucio priority.
All right, let's do it. So,
I was just trying to carry out. I was lagging.
a little bit of lag there, yeah.
Online.
Love to see it.
Yeah, the new patch fucked with me, but then I downloaded some drivers, so.
All right, well, there you go.
Most of
Download more RAM. So, Lucio value, where do you get it? What does he do?
Peel, speed, and diving.
One of the things I used to say way back in my VOD was just enable versus disable. Like, who on your team are you enabling through your positioning with your speed and heal? And who are you disabling by either diving, pressuring, poking out, and so on? And the cool thing about Lucio is really that the best Lucio value comes from when you're doing both. So in other words, like let's say that you speed your Roadhog up to here. All right. What can you do from this positioning? You can enable him by having him speed and heal as necessary, right? But what can you be doing with your gun? What can you be doing with your boop?
Taking the space from them.
Taking the space, right? You could boop the soldier away. You could spam the back line, right? Like your damage is a part of your enable disable cycle as well. So there are going to be times where, going on a frog or rollout in enemy widow is going to be entirely appropriate, where you're doing nothing but just being totally selfish. But most of Lucio is playing that hybrid playstyle where you're both supporting and also DPSing at the same time, enabling and disabling simultaneously. For example, right now, where could you be playing to maximize your ability to control space, either indirectly or directly? This is really tricky.
Well, I'm really afraid of the hook.
Yes. Do you have anything on your backline that you need to peel off?
Not right
at
now.
all. Right. So everything needs to be offensive, but respectfully offensive, as you just pointed out, right? Because there's a lot of things on this battlefield that can kill you, right? Especially things that can snipe you out. So what are your options here? What are your options? I think there are many options. Give me 3.
I could play further up on the bridge and look to like boop and take that space, but that's really scary with the hook. But I could try and do it.
Play around your Genji, play around your Roadhog. Sure. Okay. Yeah. What else?
I could try and go for like flank from the right side.
So you would solo Frogger mode on Zenyatta Ana. Okay. What else? What else do you see in your screen? Who else can you enable, disable, and so on?
I could go with Reaper.
You could go with Reaper, right? Kind of corny, but you know what? I don't know how else you're going to close the distance, because that's the key thing with Lucio, right? You can do what you're doing right now, but your poke value is pretty bad in most compositions, especially in rank. Like if we're playing like a Brawl mirror, your poke value is okay, but this is Ana and Zen and Echo and Soldier and this hook threat. So there's really no point for you to be spending time like trading with the Zenyatta at this range. It's just pointless, right? So you might as well go read the battlefield, set up a play. I actually think Lucio is the most complicated support in the game at setting up plays, because there's so many things that you can be doing. It's a lot like the Doomfist of supports, right? Where there's so many things that you can do. It's really confusing to know what you should do. So everything revolves around you looking at the battlefield and making that decision. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The worst thing.
Now,
no, go ahead.
We got poked out pretty hard, and I'm looking to like recover before we take space. Especially looking for Roadhog to push up.
But why did you get poked out? You see?
Yeah. Yeah, I see.
You're not doing anything. You're going, oh, there's a lot of poke heroes, so I'm just going to stand in the back line. You can't do this. You need to take an action. Doesn't mean diving in face first, but it might be hiding and flanking with Reaper. It might be going on the Frogger flank. It might be taking a little bit more aggressive space here. Maybe when your Roadhog walks forward, you walk forward and you boop this Roadhog half of higher. I don't know. There's options here. But you need to take action here. You need to make a plan. Because now your Reaper's in. There you go. So you're playing a lot around your tank, but you're not playing around your tank very well. You know how I can tell you that? Because your tank walks forward here. What does your tank need right now?
Speed.
Exactly. Exactly. He needs speed right now. He needs speed. Because half of the damage this Roadhog takes is because he's so fat and slow. But if you're up here, and then you speed to here, and you have speed, you cut down the amount of damage he takes by a couple hundred, right?
Yeah.
And you also put yourself in a position where if they walk forward, maybe you can boop, maybe you can whatever. Like even here, right? What does your Roadhog need? Speed. Now, it's too late now. He's hooked. But you know why he was hooked? Because he's slow. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's the more aggressive play we talked about with the Reaper. But even if you're going to be more passive with your tank, you need to be hitting these cycles properly to cut down the amount of damage that he's taking. And then here, you really need to be matching your tank's aggression. You see the problem with this right here? I know he doesn't have hook, but what's dangerous here?
Ana?
Well, not just Ana, but what's dangerous with this positioning? You see?
Well, I'm in front.
You're in front, right? You're up, your tank is back, no bueno. And then obviously here it's the same kind of issue, right? Where you're thinking, oh, I'm going to push. But wait, you're relying on this guy. This guy needs to absorb that hook for you first. Turn the corner. Wait. Now you speed in. and you make it happen. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So read your tank's tempo or even your DPS's tempo and take space with that. Make sense?
Yeah.
And this is the kind of sweat that you have to be pouring off when you're playing this character. This character is really, really hard. Especially in Overwatch 2, I think. Any questions so far?
Not particularly.
All right. Like
I
the
feel
position.
like it's mostly straightforward.
Sure.
Like it's a lot of it's easy in retrospect, hard in the moment.
Oh, yes. Always, always. Which is why the first thing that I wanted you to do is to read the battlefield and decide what you wanted to do. Because if you put yourself in that position of I'm going to stick with my tank and enable my tank, or I'm going to go hard flank with your Reaper, you make a decision and then you only have to think about what do I need to do to make this better.
Yeah.
Right? You need to streamline it as quickly as you can. Like this right here was fine. You made it. You saw an opportunity. You played around your team, and you got a good angle. You choked it mechanically.
Ignore the bad movement.
I was gonna say the ledge screws you over, but you know what? It's a good play, and it still works because the Zenyatta gives you some attention, and the Roadhog gives you some attention. So it's like you create some space. We love to see it. Bad amp. You don't need it. Too important of a CD. And the same thing happens here, right? What's the problem?
I'm too far up.
Too far up in relation to what? Who?
The tank.
The tank or?
I mean, everyone.
And everybody, right? I mean, if your Reaper was hard flanking here and trolling, if you go in here, there's much more of a chance that you're either going to help him out or they're not going to be looking at you. And so you die here, again, just because your threat is disproportionate to the rest of your team.
I think my thought there is that they're down one, we should take the fight.
Right, but you're not the one to make that decision. And if you are the one to make that decision, if you are the one to help encourage your team to walk forward, how would you do that? Would you be here?
I mean, I'm amping speed, and I'm going in, and I feel like I'm trying to get them to follow me, at least.
Okay,
'Cause
okay.
if I just stand in the choke, no one's gonna walk forward.
Sure, sure. But do you need to be standing in front of the piggy?
No.
Right. And I also, I'm not to throw you under the bus here, but you're not even amping speed. You're amping heals. And you're amping heals before you even push. Then you speed. But the amp needs to be here, right? And then also, like you said, like we don't necessarily need to be in front of the hog. So maybe it's more of an you had that right idea, but the bad execution. You know what I'm saying? Okay, taxi, taxi, taxi. Sure. Frogger mode. Too far. Back out. Good job. That was good. So you go for it, and then you're like, oh, well, they're far away. That's not going to work. Goodbye.
I get discorded.
Well, even if you don't get discorded, you just realize that there's nothing that I can do to these guys at this range, right? So I need to go back, enable my team, and then maybe rotate and try for a play this way. Yeah. Yeah. Here it comes. Amp, 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 amp. Nah. Amp the speed, right? I think you're fishing for beat here. Is that... I'm trying to go through your thought process here.
I hear tack visor. I'm close, and I want to get the beat.
Okay, okay. Understandable. Very risky, though. I'm smelling Ajax potentially here. Okay, you scared me for a second there. You scared me for a second there. Probably more consistent to just amp speed. Even just to amp speed from this range, that way your Reaper and Roadhog can do whatever they want, and you don't even need to leave this corner. You kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Roadhog's really low. I want to, I don't know if you can check how much heal he has, but I think he's out of it. Oh, the Roadhog. Our Roadhog.
Oh, our Roadhog?
Yeah. Does it not show?
He's full. But I mean, either way though, you need to amp speed him, right? Because again, it goes back to the first fight where like, what's going to deny more damage, right? It's going to be the amp speed for him. Mm-hmm. Allow him to move quickly out in these awkward phases. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean,
you seem unsure.
In this situation, it feels a little bit more awkward because they have tack visor up. Feels like there's nothing really stopping them from pushing through the cover. Like,
Right, which is all the more reason that they need amp speed to disengage, I guess is my point.
to
I
disengage.
Yes. So if you're here and I hear visor, tactic visor, I want to give amp speed for my Roadhog and Reaper for them to kite the engage that is inevitable to come.
Mhm.
And I don't want to have to put myself at risk to do so. Because if this team is smart, this Roadhog doesn't drop. I don't even know why this Roadhog, honestly. Yeah, so he panics here, and instead of just healing and backing up this way, he drops. So then this team can no longer push. If this team had pushed right now off of the visor, I think your team probably dies. Or maybe even you get the kill before beat. Doesn't really matter, to be honest. I just want you to be thinking as much as you possibly can about when speed is appropriate versus when heal is appropriate. I know it sounds like such a fundamental basic thing, but I think it's worth putting some attention to, especially in these tank trades.
I mean, because it's fundamental and basic, it's important.
Right. It's something that even at an Overwatch League Lucio is going to have to reevaluate over and over and over and over. Okay, let's go. Speed. I would stay in speed even here, right? So I don't see anybody crit. He's dead, right? So he screws up. So that's his fault, right? But here, your Reaper needs speed. You are in. Stay on that speed. Right? Because your heal is not going to be the 50 damage enough to be able to keep your Roadhog Reaper enough. But it might be enough to get him close enough with that Death Blossom to finish off the kill on the Ana or finish off the kill on the Zenyatta. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's interesting hearing you tell me to use speed more often when I get told to use speed less all the time.
When? By who?
Just, I mean, by friends, by
Okay.
players in game.
By ranked morons, you mean?
Yes, true.
Okay, right. The point being is this. This is the rule for speed. This is a really stupid rule, but it's the rule of speed. You ready for the rule of speed? If you are standing still, you and your team are standing still, you should be healing. If you are moving forward or backwards, or you think that they should be moving forward or backwards, you should be on speed. That's it. So you look at this fight here, you are not standing still. You are walking forward. You should be on speed. Great. This is bad. You're still moving, so why are you in heal? Speed. But in a situation like this, there's no real point. I mean, I would probably give my Reaper a little bit of speed here, but like, let's say that your Reaper was not pushed up here and your team was just sitting here. There's no reason to be on speed until your Roadhog starts to walk out of the choke. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because I coach a lot of Grandmaster and Masters and Bronze Lucios, and most of them don't heal enough or don't heal at the right time, and most of them don't speed at the right time. It's hard. It's a lot harder than it looks. Like here, okay, well, yeah, I think we also need to stop shooting the juicy fat man just because it feels good.
Yeah.
You know, because in this situation, again, like, then what's the most important question you could be asking yourself right now? What does Lucio start with, right? What's the plan? So what is the plan right now for you? What are your options?
The fight feels pretty over. It's 3.
Okay.
It feels like,
So what are your options?
well, I can stall point, or I can dive the back line.
You could dive the backline. You could stall point. You could speed your Roadhog out, right? You could fully disengage yourself, right?
Yeah, I mean, I could just get out if I wanted to.
You could. Or you could, like you said, dive the backline. This is neither. So, it's a C- for me. Because there's no chance of actually getting a kill here, but there's a chance of getting a kill here. There's also a chance of maybe speeding you and your Roadhog out, or going back and resetting. And
Kiriko.
Sure, but she's a TP. You do not save Kiriko like this. Kiriko, in fact, I think has TP. Yeah, she has it 1 second. You see?
Yeah.
Keep that in mind. Yeah, Lucio, you need to heal more. We swap to an actual healer. Giving you the ranked experience right now. Sorry.
I mean, why do you swap Kiriko? Like, my team actually tells me that, like, Lucio is the pick here.
Well, the way you're playing it's not.
Understand.
Yeah, see. I'm telling you, the soldier died. The soldier gets away without the speed. Check it out. Check out this guy. This guy goes need for speed. Watch this. Soldier runs. Nope. 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 Huge. Now what? Now what?
Clean up. So
Sure.
I
You
can.
got options, right? You go back and peel tank. Do dive backline. What do you think? You stay with your Reaper. You go back to your front line. This is
Well,
a
I think
trick question.
diving the backline's better, but I don't really have the information.
Right. The trick question is that I don't think it really matters as long as you choose one of those options and execute it well. Because I could see you booping the Echo in and then going and sitting on your Roadhog and then booping their Roadhog's hooks and enabling your
Yeah.
Roadhog. Or I can also see you threatening backline. Now, you might not be able to hard dive them, but just distract because you can get close to them. You see how close you can get here? So you're a real threat to these guys. Yes, huge. Good try. Good. 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 Stay in the speed though. Good. This is good. Because look at this from your. It's hard to judge your value. I want you to watch this from an overhead perspective just for a second. Your Roadhog gets cooked. You speed. Do you see how fast your Roadhog disengages right there?
Yeah.
He gets hit by like one pellet from that whole hog and he's gone. Totally out. You then boop the Roadhog back so he's not able to follow up as much as he wants. You get split because, whole hog. You need to rotate back in, serve as a distraction, but this time you're actually being a rat and playing cover this time. See this? Now, okay, you're a little bit too far out. I will say that. Okay. But in theory, this
saved by the hook.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Actually, this is okay. I gave you way too much credit, but yeah, in theory, you could bait the hook, and then all of a sudden, now that Roadhog's hooked. So then you're also in a position to shoot him from an angle. Sure, fine. You duck into cover. You've just taken Discord. Amp. Now you're gonna force the Echo out. A little bit of chip damage. I mean, this is all fine. I think the only thing that maybe would have been better value around this point in time would have been what? What could you do from here?
I could go backline.
Backline.
On
I
the
think
right side. Like,
I do think that you're doing a fine job in the tank trade, but I just don't think that you're able to do a lot in this tank trade right now. So probably the best bet here would be either to play with your Sojourn on an angle and help her push, or to play selfishly and harass and threaten backline for CDs. Even just making them look at you will take some of the heat off of your hog. Make sense? Yeah. Because yeah, you get sucked back into the tank trade again, right? Where that tank trade is happening completely out in the open. This would be a situation where you could peel off the Lucio copy, I guess, or go on the backline, and unfortunately neither is really happening. I think that's it.
at that point, I was just no. We got 99%.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was just stalling there.
Sure. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
I didn't realize last fight.
Okay. So you said you had a scrim code, or do you want to go over another rank code? We got 30 more minutes.
Do I play any more Lucio?
You do not. That's when you swap Kiriko. I'm fairly certain. Yeah, you play Kiriko.
Yeah, I have a scrim code.
All right, let's do it. So what are you seeing so far from Lucio? Let's just say Lucio ranked. Details. What needs to be practiced?
I'm healing too much when they need speed.
Healing when people are moving in or out. Not just when, but I want to be very specific about what that circumstance is, right? Okay, what else?
I'm disconnected from the tank.
Okay, disconnected from tank DPS aggro. You go in ahead of when, just before, essentially, they push and get punished, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, anything else? What's the first thing that you should be looking to do with Lucio as soon as the fight starts? As soon as you read the battlefield, what's the first priority?
Make a choice about.
Make a choice. Right. Make a choice. Make a plan. First thing. Who do I enable, disable? What's the plan? Then focus on execution. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, any questions? Nothing?
No, I'm thinking.
Okay. No worries.
Let's look at the other one.
Okay. Sounds good. I do feel like I assume some of those same things from ranked will bleed into scrims, so we'll have more footage to take a look. One
It's
clock
actually
run.
from the Flash Ops.
It's from what?
Flash Ops.
Oh, Flash Ops. Perfect. Okay, let's take a look. If any questions come up, you know the routine. Just holler.
Yep.
Sigma May, Sojourn. Mirror matchup. What's the plan? What can you do to a Sigma?
All I can boop him.
What can you do for your Sigma?
Speed.
Speed him? When? When would you speed him?
And they get walled off.
Okay, when else? Because they don't have wall.
And they use cooldowns.
What cooldowns?
Rock and suck.
Sure. What else? What else do you need to speed around? Look at their comp.
I mean, if they speed in with turret.
Yeah, turret, big one, big one. Get avoiding that turret form, really, really important. Okay, maybe even a tier 3 Symmetra beam or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe an ultimate. Okay. All right. So what about? Go ahead. Sorry.
Or yeah, TP. If they
Sure.
TP, might need to reposition around it.
Exactly. Now, can you? We talked about mostly disabling. You could dive BAP. You could dive Sem. You could dive Bashed if he doesn't have turret form. There's lots of little things that you can disrupt. You could boop their Lucio off the wall. All sorts of little value. Now, but look at their team. Is there anybody on your team besides your Sigma that you can, quote unquote, enable, help with speed? Who could use speed on your comp? Or even just your pocket? Heal or speed.
I mean, May. I feel like
Sure.
if I'm with Sojourn, I'm not getting enough value from
Sure.
too far distance. I'd rather be with a team, especially if it's gonna keep me closer to Sigma.
True. I will say sometimes when Sojourn's on an off angle, having Lucio on that off angle could be very useful because your chip, she's going to get chip damaged, and you're perfect for chip damage, right? So just kind of keep that one in mind. But yeah, let's take a look here. I like your positioning. You're in a good spot to boot people. You're in a good spot to speed people. And most importantly, are you moving right now? Is anybody moving?
No.
So heal. And you're on heal. I would generally prefer you to be, like, I guess, up here if possible. Oh yeah, this is fine. And that's kind of why. It's just a little bit more consistent cover. A little bit higher up in the sky is a little bit harder to shoot. What should be happening right now? Are people moving?
Or repositioning.
So what should happen right now?
Speed.
Not just speed, speed, I would say. So you don't have to do this. You got me? So your ability to
I wanted to hold speed in case they drop to be able to amp out.
Sure, but remember, but do you listen carefully? Listen, just actually, you know what? This is gonna be corny. Close your eyes and listen for just a second. Seriously, close your eyes.
All right, fine.
Listen, tell me what you hear.
Amp.
All right, listen to their CDs. I'm gonna give you one more try. Listen.
Wait, let me turn it up.
Yeah. I'll turn it up in my end as well. All right.
I feel
I'll blast your ears. Okay, you ready? Turret form. You got me? So you said that you wanted to save speed just in case they drop and engage afterwards. But what's the fatal flaw with that logic?
They don't have turrets. So
they don't have turret. This is the push. You got me? This is the push. So why would you save amp for an engage that's never going to happen, right? Do you think they want to engage without a turret form? Heck no. This is their spike in value. And if you look at it now, you can open your eyes now. If you look now, this is it, right? This is it. This is everything they got. Their shield, blah, 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 blah. They don't want to push now, right? They don't want to push now. That's their TP. That's their turret. That's everything, right? So that you're saving it for something that's never going to happen because this is why I said the first thing you need to do is find out the plan. Like, what am I waiting for? Maywall? Am I waiting for turret? Am I waiting to, because that was it right there. That was it. And so what ends up happening is that your team is not able to quickly rotate, and then we get split because you didn't have amp speed. Now, that was definitely more on your BAP than anybody else, but that's kind of what you're supposed to do, is you're supposed to cover people's mistakes. And then now, we're cooked. Here's a question. Are you on the right aura right now? Ask yourself the question, are we moving? That's not the answer. Are we moving? Are we pushing in or kiting out?
We're kind of static in the choke.
Pretty much. So are you on the right aura?
Yes.
Yes. You wanted to move across, so you go speed. You move across. Then you go back to healing. Are you on the right aura? Yes. Nice job. You don't need to move. So, I mean, that's kind of goofy there, but you could see that, like, you could see the amount of value that you got from being on the right aura and being in the right position. So, I think the major nitpick for me, not nitpick, but the major point for me is the speed at the first engage. But nice job. Good boop on the Sigma there at the end. Good healing aura, good damage. It was fine. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
I also think like if you do notice like me like positioning incorrectly or moving incorrectly, that's also good to point out because I feel like those are things that a lot of the time I understand that my movement isn't like just how it should be, but I don't really see the alternative like.
Okay. So I've been cutting you too much slack. You want to be a little bit tougher. All right. Here we go. There's no other really alternative here outside of crossing the other side. As soon as you get here, right, where's the best position for you to be right now to maximize your damage while minimizing your risk? Where should you be?
Higher up on the wall.
Higher up on the wall. I love this position here, but I do not like where on this position you're at. You need to be up here where you could get the same amount of aura, can boot people in and out, do damage, but more importantly, not die. Because what happens is then once you back up, this is your alternative. And you're totally naked right here. Totally naked. You see what I'm saying? Whereas if you're here,
I get booped there.
Right, but the reason you get booped is because you were on the floor in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you've been on the wall, there's no way Lucio can boop you here. He can't. So then now, when they TP, instead of being on top of the teleporter, yeah, your Sojourn is in trouble, but she has slide, right? And that's exactly what she does. Whereas you here, you're cooking. And you don't die to Spectre turrets. Right? You're cooking. You could push in with your team. You could hold this angle here. But yeah, in general, I think on the wall, verticality, especially in these brawl mirrors, really, really important. And moving to get to those positions is really important. You see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's keep going here. I would taxi here. Definitely taxi here. I know you're getting some scouting here, but you got this old man here, so help him just to push forward a little bit faster. Ironic that you spent more time taxing in rank than you did in this, in flash ops. Okay, let's okay. I do think that there's a lot of value to be had with your team right now. I don't think the symmetric angle is all that scary. I think I'd be more focused on what I could be doing with the tank line trade because you see what's happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's turret. I need amp speed. I need amp speed right now. Or at the very least, just speed. Because I mean, this is crazy. This is when would this be appropriate though, right? All joking aside, when would you need to do a play like this? What kind of composition would this be good versus?
I mean, if they didn't have a Lucio, it would be less scary because the team doesn't have to
that
out easier.
Yeah. Here's a question. What character is going to play a window like this that you could easily deal with?
I mean, Widow.
Widow, right? You go into ranked, they're on a Widowmaker. What are you going to do out of sitting on your tank, right? While the Widowmaker is plunking away at your team. At this point, you go Reddit in your backline, right? Anything like this. But right now, it's odd that you make this decision. But I want to hear your thought process here because I assume that there was a line of logic that led you to this. So what was it?
Can you go third person for a second?
Of course.
I thought that the risk of them going for a flank here with TP would be problematic. And the cart is really far back, so I felt like it's going to be kind of 4v4 on the cart either way. And my team should be fine.
Sure. Okay. Now, they could be fine, but do you know what you could do if you were here with your team?
Take engage.
Push, right, exactly. It's not just about a kiting, it's the opportunity to actually punish this. And the thing, you're concerned a lot about teleporter. But the best way to dealing with teleporter, well, think about it this way. Let's go back to the very first fight just really quickly from third person. What did teleporter cost you here? Why was it scary?
They took high ground.
They took high ground, and then they forced your Baptiste to do what, right? Choose, right? They had to choose. But how do you allow your team to rotate around this better? Speed, right? So when you're concerned about these like flank TPs, the best thing that you can do is just make sure that your team has speed aura so they're able to counter rotate. Even on this high ground here, if they come up through here and they do a teleport to here and all, just speed them. Because you know what you could do? Flip the map. Again, a situation where you would need to be on your team with speed. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if there isn't, especially if there isn't a good off angle that you're contesting, and you really aren't contesting the off angle right now, you kind of are here with the Symmetra, but then as soon as she leaves, you're just ornamental here, right? You need to be with your team. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it makes total sense with what you're doing, but I think you're underestimating the value of speed when it comes to dealing with teleporters. Good. We're standing still, so why not be on heals, right? Makes total sense. Good job. Good amp. I know the intention there. Great beat. That is tilting. But you know what? You played this one well. You should be proud of this fight. You were in heal aura. Maybe you could have been a little bit higher up on the wall here, but honestly was mostly fine. Heal aura was good. You amp speed because you guys have a plan to push. You get caught with their flux. You beat. The beat was fine. The beat, I mean, I'm surprised the beat didn't stop their the Bastional. Oh yeah, they got slowed and then comboed. So that's a brutal combo from them. And then this here is like, this feels like it should be a kill. Then there's the lamp. And to be honest with you, this is just bad mechanics from your team. Your Sigma misses his shots, your Mei misses her icicle, and your Sojourner misses her rail. So with all due respect, you did fine. Are you moving? No, so speed. Oh, then you move. You're amping heal, sort of, kind of. Woo, nice. That's not so nice. Do you notice, by the way, that this is the same issue you had in the ranked game with the Roadhog? Right here. You see it?
Yeah.
You want to be pushing, so you push, but then you should die here. So you know what's fine here? Just wait for your Sigma and Mei to engage, and then respawn to them. I think the general rule with Lucio is you want to enable. You don't necessarily want to be the guy going in first yourself, unless you're doing so on a flank, because you just don't have the frontline presence to make it work. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
If you had engaged on that window from like here, maybe a different story. Okay. Stall. Heal aura, it's just standing still, so it's fine. I probably would not amp here, because you could see where I would have liked to have had amp 1 second later.
Why is that?
You amp heal first, then transition to speed as the amp is already starting to expire now. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So just make sure, that's the second time it's happened. It happened on the Samoa map as well, where you amp healed into a speed when you really wanted just speed. Keep an eye on that. Because that's the difference of you getting in there and getting out. Because if you'd had an extra second of amp speed here, I think you get out of this play. Make sense?
Yeah. I mean, I see the tank flow and I want to amp heal.
Right. But that's only, what? Half of the amp heal is 75 healing? 80 healing? I think it's what, a total of 150 healing, I think, something like that? And you're using...
I have to check. I think it's more.
Okay. Okay.
But
Let me actually look really quick. Lucio Overwatch.
I think it's, what, 30 per second?
Right. Let's see here. Amp it up. Goes to 50 per second for 3 seconds. So yeah, 150 healing. So half of the amp is going to be about 75 healing, right? So when you amp it up, go back to here for 1 second, then transitioning to speed, you've done about 75 healing to your Sigma. That's not worth it to me. That's not worth it to me. Not when there's the opportunity for you to be able to disengage on this Bastion and then disengage safely. That's a lot more than 75 healing.
Yeah.
Okay. Taxi time. Sure. Amp speed because we're moving. Didn't quite get the angle we wanted, but you do get the boop, so we love to see that. Back to heals because we're standing still. Now here I would probably be going into speed because of the flux. So why is speed important here? You tell me.
Dodge flux.
Dodge flux. Well, I mean, he's fluxing, so it's like you just want to make sure that you're pushing. But also think about it this way. Where is the damage from flux coming from? It's the Sigma, but also what is the flux enabling these guys to do? You kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah, to go on them.
We're going forward. So we need to push on this Sigma while we're fluxing backline, and they will want speed to do that. Make sense? Even if you're not speeding the guy who needs the speed necessarily, it's still a good idea. Early beat's good, because I think they would have died without it. Back to heals, because we're standing still. Maybe speed with her, maybe. Ah, no, not quite.
And this is a disaster.
I mean, it was worth a shot, right? You had nothing to lose. Right? So you had nothing to lose, so you might as well go for it, because you're going to lose anyway. Okay, let's keep going here. So
Speed through.
What is it?
Speed through.
Yeah, speed through. Yeah, exactly. Okay, any questions so far?
I mean, a lot of it's just like not being in the right place to get value, and that's just. I mean, that's why I'm here.
Right.
It's part of what I'm working on.
Okay, but what specifically needs to improve? Because you say like being in the right place, but what are the habits that need to be better? Aura management, specific positioning, all that
Caring
stuff.
about healing numbers a little bit too much from ranked.
A little bit. The amp heal into speed transition is awkward. Maybe speeding, being more attentive to when we need speed when we're moving forward. And then sometimes also, I think we've seen a few times where you tend to trickle in some speed when you're holding still and you don't need to. You just sit on heals. I mean, that's the irony here is that like, you know, if you pursue...
Well,
go ahead.
I can make an argument for that.
Okay, talk to me.
If you swap speed just a little bit, it makes it a little harder to hit.
That's true.
People aren't taking poke.
That's true. So when you get to that point to where that nuance is the reason why you're doing it, then talk to me. But but a very fair point. Okay, let's keep going. No questions?
Honestly, no.
Okay, let's keep going.
I wish I had questions because questions are great, but
well, okay. It's also okay to just like let things stew. And then a week from now, you're like, oh, I have questions now. And then you message me and I answer those questions.
Sure.
So there's no urgency here. Okay. Sure. He's out. Sure. Sure. Scary, but sure. And that was Lucio value, right? Like the thing you need to think about is what does my character do really freaking well? You know what your character does really well? Helping somebody in off angle, shooting them out, swimming out, forcing the resources. If I'm Zenyatta and I see this right here, you know, they're going to be singing him over. I'm dead. It's over. Like I'm just going to weep. It's over. But I'm Lucio. I survive. I move. I win 1v1s in close range. So I see this. Yes, you should have and could have played this better. I probably would have amped out immediately. Amp speed back to direction, grab the mini and started to spam from here. You got a little bit disrespectful here. Felt a little too many turrets there. But the idea was correct. We stand still, we heal. Now we speed because we're walking. Guess maybe not. We're healing. We're staying still.
There's turret.
Yeah.
So we wait for cooldown.
Exactly. So we stand still, we go back to healing. Yep. Ah, you're doing it again. You're leading the charge. You see this? You're leading the charge. You have to trust your team here. You have to trust that your team will walk forward here. So, and the reason why that's so important is it's not just about your own safety, but again, half of this amp is wasted because your team is just now pushing and the amp is already almost over. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let the amp be a reaction to action or action of your own that actually makes sense. If you were to, I literally would prefer an amp speed you harassing backline from here, because that's something that you know you're not gonna get punished for, than just running it down here. It's like you do these team speeds before your team actually even pushes. You either selfish speed or you team speed when your team pushes. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
My thought process is I see turrets used. They're still down one, I think.
Sure. Sure.
Down cooldowns. I want to just go.
I agree, but you're acting as if the window of opportunity is the size of like a pen, right? It's not. It's huge, right? There's plenty of time to go push after turret. You've got 12 freaking seconds. The worst thing that you could do is try to squeeze in so fast that you end up fumbling and falling flat in your face, which has happened a few times. It's mostly in the ranked VOD, but it's also happened a couple times here too.
Yeah.
Like the only way you could lose is if you had gone in there and died because you were by yourself. Positioning here. You want to talk about the micro here?
Sure. Yeah.
Respectfully, get off the freaking floor. You should. This is actually insanity. Get on the wall. Get on the wall. You cannot be here. I would literally rather have you over here by yourself than where you are right now. You need to get off the floor. If this Sigma has rock, if this Moira hits a damage orb on you, there's a real chance that you just die here. I like what you're doing. I just freaking hate how you do it.
I mean, we won.
This is great.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Okay.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
No, I'm not worrying about it. Not even a single bit of worries. Zero. Literally zero worry. Oh, this is great. I love this. I actually don't know if I love it or not. Wait.
Yeah, the grenade physics are so weird.
I'm pretty sure he just sat and watched it. I'm glad we're saying focus and flash shops. Okay. Again, here it's like you're not, who are you helping hold this off angle right now? You know?
Richard's coming.
Yes. Oh my goodness, you're killing me. Sit here. Sojin holds the angle, then you go up here. But like you're just throwing chip damage, almost like you're a Soldier 76. Meanwhile, your Sigma probably would want speed here. Oh my gosh, you guys lamped. Where's my speed? You got me?
Yeah, that's pretty egregious.
That is pretty egregious. And the thing is the reason. Okay, this again, I want to be very clear. If you're going to do corny garbage like this, I want you on the backline because at least you're a threat. You are not a threat here. You are not a sniper. Your poke here is almost meaningless. You see this? It's not even a mechanics issue. Freaking funny Aster himself, the Lord Daniel, could not hit these shots. So stop trying, right?
Okay.
Stop trying. Either put yourself on the Reddit Lucio train or enable your teammate. One or the other. I mean, I guess this is value because I don't even know why she wastes time clearing you out because you're not a threat. But, you know, there you go, I guess. But just meanwhile, your Sigma has died. So, disaster. That was a nice little trip. That's fine. Amp healing on a squishy is a little bit more forgivable because that 150 healing matters a whole lot more than it does versus the tank. One of the things you got to learn with tanks is like the indirect value of speed. Indirect value is a lot more valuable to tanks than direct value. Damage and healing matters a lot more to squishies. CC, cooldowns, debuffs, discords, things like that matter a lot more to tanks than they do to squishies. So like a speed will save a Roadhog, and amp heal will save a Baptiste, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Now remember, where should you be?
With my tank.
Mm-hmm. And what should you be ready to swap to instantly?
Speed, because they're
speed.
going on.
Right. At any point that they start to push here, right now, this needs to be speed. Right here. Speed. You're on healing. You're on healing. You're still on healing. You're still unhealing. And so like now that the trade has kind of happened, it's kind of fine to be unhealing now because you guys are kind of standing still. But getting the Sigma from here to here is night and day in terms of his survivability, and he needed speed to make that transition a little bit smoother. Again, a situation where an amp speed might have saved you a lamp. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Probably would be okay to save amp there if you know you're going to lamp, what am I saying, beat immediately, then you can amp on the engage after. Another situation where I know it's window. I don't want you on the floor. I want you up here. You got me? Safety, booping people out of TP, diving back, and then, oh, they're over here. Whiz, right over here. Because that's the other thing with the positioning on the walls. It's not only safer, but it sounds like such a duh moment, but it's important. It allows you to move from point A to point B faster. So when they take these teleporters, if you're on the wall, you're going to be able to avoid, disengage, engage, whatever you want to do that much faster. Because this is a real, like, there's a real risk of you dying here. Oh my goodness. Get her. Nice. I never doubted for a second. Not even 1 second. I never doubted. Not even for a second. I was fully confident. Oh no. So many shots. Ah, rats. Okay, let's keep going here. All right, let's see this. Now you're gonna get one fight where you're gonna be on the wall, amp speed and engage, or amp on a wall, or amp speed a disengage on a Bastion turret form. I just know it. It's gonna happen. No. Sir, go back. No. You're crazy. What are you doing? You are this is wild. Again, I hate to say this again, but what's the problem with this flank? What's the problem with this angle?
Too far away.
Too far away, exactly. Unironically, I would rather you up here, like doing some tickling, or maybe even over. I don't know, but like obviously you need to be with your team. Like that's the bet. But if you are going to, the reason why I keep giving you that disclaimer is because this is something that you're going to keep running into in ranked, where like playing the tank trade just doesn't work. We saw that with the previous Samoa map, right? Whereas like at points it was okay, but sometimes it just felt useless. So then you need to think, okay, like if I'm going to Reddit, how do I need to be Reddit? You can't Reddit here. Your time to kill is actually crazy as Lucio if you're up close. Amp speed, right now. Amp speed, because your team, you don't know, is your team going to disengage this or engage on this? This is a trick question.
We have Blizzard up, so we're just kind of going to stay still and kill the people in Blizzard.
Potentially, but I imagine that you're still going to want to push through window, right? Or push to kill the people that are frozen, or push on the Bastion, or hide from the Bastion, right? The point being is that like your BAP might back up, your Mei might push forward, your Sigma might duck behind a wall. You might do all of things all at the same time, right? But you know what? Amp speed helps anybody do anything that they want. If your Mei wants to push, help them with that. Your BAP wants to push, help them with that. Sigma wants to kite, help them with that. The key thing here is this not the best move for an amp speed. Not bad. At least you had amp for it, but I would prefer an amp speed. And then also in terms of positioning, where should you be?
On the wall.
On the wall. Well, here you don't even need to be on the wall.
Yeah,
here.
I mean, I want to kill the Sigmas.
Yeah, just don't be here. Just don't be here. Don't draw for it. Shoot up here, or go here and shoot the Bastion. Don't be here, because you're screwed. You should be screwed. Because even if you're not screwed, do you see how chaotic this feels now? Because you're literally in the middle of nowhere. Like right now, I feel maximum stress. Cortisol levels have reached 6,000, right? Whereas if you're here, oh, you're smoking, right? You're just chilling. So yeah, I mean, this just gets so much more chaotic than it needs to be. You are now dead, so we're gonna. Oh no, wait. I was gonna say, please don't beat that. All right, you got time for one more fight?
Yeah.
All right, let's do one more.
I mean, I got time.
Okay, let's do one more fight. All right, you're gonna nail it. I know it. You're gonna be on the wall. You're gonna amp speed, engage here, and remember, like I said, it's an engage or a disengage. Like you could kite Bastion form, you could push with the wall. Either way, amp speed's gonna be good. Heals, good. Staying on heals, staying on heals, staying on heals. Good. Now you can move up the top right here if you'd want to. Control the soft angle, boop this bat back. Oh yeah, well, never mind. She gets kind of annihilated. That's kind of on her. Amp speed, very, very good. In fact, if your bat plays it well, amp speed will save him from Bastion ult. He might not even need to use his lamp. So that was good. This wasn't a bad fight from you. Let's watch one more. The healing, a little bit of healing, a little bit of healing. Let's walk. Healing, a little bit of healing. You could amp speed this. You see it?
Yeah.
You need to get there quickly, but you would want to amp speed this just so that, because the other thing is like, even like getting your Sigma through the shield so that he can hit the rock combo and making sure that you make and freeze is huge. And then your team can decide to disengage the Bastion ult or right over, and there you come flying in with your amp healing. It's not the play. Not the play. Good. Oh, well.
Don't watch this.
Hey, you know what? Good.
Oh,
Very
God.
good. Very. But good play. But seriously, good play. Nice. You got off the angle. Amp heal, understandable here, considering it was a squishy that was critical. I get it. Speed, and then a boop. I would speed your Sigma here. You see him? Speed him. Boop is Symmetra. Go to speed. Good boop. Great peel. Amp heal on a squishy. It's fine. Yeah. So mostly in terms of how you move and how you execute it, kind of clunky, but at least you had many of the right ideas. Okay. I want to go back and evaluate your Lucio ranked list. When it comes to Lucio team playlist, is there anything that you would add from that list or anything you would emphasize?
I think so. From watching the like flash ops back is pretty painful thinking about the speed. Honestly, like in the moment, it's not something that I'm focusing on as much as I should be, and I think that's a little bit of ranked PTSD that I really shouldn't be taking into consideration.
All comes back to joining voice or text chat, or whatever, right? Yeah, 100%, 100%. Anything else? What about positioning?
I mean, I was like not with the tank.
Positioning on
that comes down to like not understanding like the speed value as much as I should be.
Okay.
Because I'm not with the tank because I feel like I don't care that much about this giving the tank speed in the fight when I should be more.
It's so hard to measure indirect value in Overwatch. You know, it's so hard. These are the conversations that I have when I talk with Winston players into counters. You know, you need to judge things. You have to kind of look on a third person afterwards and decide, okay, was it worth it? Where did I get value? Because, you know, it doesn't fill up your ult meter. You know what I'm saying? It's not even like a life grip or a lamp where it's like, oh, you know, I saved their life. You don't even know if you saved their life.
There's no stat for it.
Right. And so therefore it's really hard to measure. But you have to know objectively. And that's why it takes a certain level of maturity for Lucio players to play well, which is why I always find the character ironic. It's where it's generally the froggy, trolling character, but it's actually like, it's really a thinking hero is really what it is. In terms of positioning as well, positioning,
more low
get
balls
off the floor so that you can reposition more. You can do more aggressive things and you preserve your life more. It's the best of both worlds. Okay. I think that was mostly it for me. Do you have any other questions?
Nothing jumps out.
Okay.